Picture this: you're out delivering food in the dead of night, and suddenly, masked individuals pop up like they're auditioning for a horror movie. Talk about a plot twist. The narrator learns quickly that working solo at night might just be a recipe for disaster, or a really bad reality show.
Spoiler alert, it's not fun.
And just when you thought it couldn't get weirder, another delivery driver decides to play the role of a stalker after a seemingly innocent food order.
I mean, come on.
It's not a date, it's just dinner. This bizarre encounter reveals the hidden perils of sharing your personal info. Maybe a little less sharing and a little more keep your distance is the way to go. Now, delivering in sketchy neighborhoods is like playing an intense game of Jenga. One wrong move and everything could come crashing down. Our narrator bravely dives into the unpredictable world of food delivery, dodging danger like it's an extreme sport. Who knew dropping off burgers could involve so much drama? But let's not forget the warm and fuzzy side of things. Our delivery driver takes a moment to reflect on being a beacon of comfort during tough times. I mean, what says I care more than an extra side of fries during a global pandemic? It's all about that community spirit, and maybe some fried food therapy. Yet, there's a darker side to this profession. When our narrator witnesses someone in distress, they're hit with a wave of guilt for not connecting further. It's like a scene from a drama where the weight of human connection feels both beautiful and burdening. Aren't feelings just the worst sometimes? And speaking of tragic tales, there's a gut-wrenching story about another delivery driver whose life gets cut short. This shocking reminder slaps us all with the reality of danger lurking in service jobs. It's a harsh reality check, because who knew delivering pizza could come with such a high-stakes plot twist? Our tale takes a bizarre turn when a delivery goes sideways, and a customer unveils a stab wound like it's the latest fashion trend. Red flags are flying everywhere, and our narrator is left questioning their life choices. Who knew delivering food came with a complimentary horror story? Then there's the quirky request for raw hamburger meat.
Excuse me?
Is this a cooking show or a potential health hazard? The customer's bizarre behavior adds a sprinkle of crazy to an already chaotic job. Honestly, every day feels like a cooking class gone wrong. But not all homes are welcoming. Some are straight out of a spooky novel. Entering a dilapidated house feels more like stepping into the Twilight Zone than making a delivery. Just imagine the narrator with a flashlight, looking like they're searching for ghosts instead of delivering grub. A disturbing scene unfolds when our narrator witnesses interactions that raise serious eyebrows about kids living in potentially abusive situations. It's a heart-wrenching moment as they decide to call for help, showcasing that sometimes you just can't stand by. It's like being in a real-life superhero movie, time to save the day. But the aftermath of that encounter leaves our narrator with a heavy heart. It's like carrying around a backpack full of rocks after a marathon, exhausting and emotional. The uncertainty of what happened lingers like a bad smell that just won't go away. The experience shines a spotlight on spotting red flags in relationships and family dynamics. Sometimes, a little intervention goes a long way, even if it feels like stepping on a rake in a cartoon. It's messy and painful, but necessary. The plot thickens with a mysterious envelope containing photographs that escalate the danger factor. It's like receiving a surprise gift you never wanted. Cue the police involvement. When in doubt, always call the cops, right? Picture our protagonist in a bustling Black Friday melee, ready to snag a deal.
But wait.
A masked individual is acting suspiciously. Suddenly, it's less about bargains and more about dodging potential danger. Black Friday shopping has officially turned into a thriller movie. On Christmas Eve, instead of carols, our protagonist faces a home invasion by a familiar face. Talk about an unwelcome guest. This night quickly turns from holiday cheer to total mayhem, reminding us that not all surprises are merry and bright. That strange knocking at the door sets off alarm bells and leads our curious protagonist down the rabbit hole of neighborhood mysteries. You know you're in too deep when you find yourself investigating like Sherlock Holmes after a child runs away.
It's part intrigue, part chaos.
Upon entering the abandoned house, our narrator is met with a foul smell and an eerily creepy vibe. Definitely not the welcome mat they were hoping for. This adventure into the unknown leads them to a spine-chilling encounter with a woman who seems to have her own set of warnings. After dialing the police, our protagonist uncovers a horrific murder mystery linked to the house they wandered into. It's like stepping straight into a plot twist that even the writers couldn't predict. Just when you think everything is safe, real life throws a sinister curveball. The emotional chaos that ensues reflects a deep empathy for those vulnerable to abuse. It's a heavy burden to carry, but it underscores the urgent call for awareness. Can we all get on the let's help each other bandwagon, please? Thanks to a connection with a police detective, the narrator manages to report their findings. It just goes to show how networking isn't just for job hunting, it can also save lives. Community power to the rescue, one detective at a time. Then comes the shocking revelation about systematic abuse in what should be a care-focused company. It's like finding out the candy shop is actually a front for mischief. This eye-opener calls for serious oversight and accountability in institutions we trust. What starts off as an innocent conversation soon spirals into obsession with a creepy admirer. Imagine dating being like a scavenger hunt, and this guy is clearly way too into it. His relentless pursuit reveals the darker side of romance. Note to self, run the other way. The protagonist learns just how well a stalker can play the online game, raising red flags about privacy and sharing on social media. Who knew tweeting could have such dangerous consequences? It's proof that sometimes, it's wise to keep your online life as private as a diary. After receiving a deluge of threatening messages, our protagonist springs into action and informs their parents, the ultimate power move. And what's next? Calling the police, because when in doubt, always go for the professionals. Even though laws against stalking exist, they often arrive fashionably late, leaving victims hanging like a forgotten Christmas ornament. Timely legal action is crucial, not just for the fun of it, but for actual safety. The narrator shares their Grindr experience, filled with suspicious profiles and reminding us all that online anonymity can sometimes feel like Pandora's box. Who even knows what's lurking behind those screens? Talk about a wild and unpredictable online dating world. One particularly alarming interaction leaves our narrator feeling anxious when someone asks for money. This is not the way to make new friends, folks. Suddenly, their online adventures have taken a sharp detour into the realm of worry. A chilling glimpse into Jorge's mind reveals voices influencing his violent thoughts. It's like stepping into a psychological thriller, where our narrator gets a front row seat to the delusions of a satanic ritual. Spoiler alert, it's not a Netflix show, it's reality. Forensics take the stage, revealing horrifying evidence of cannibalism. Body tissue on cooking utensils? Yikes. This raises all kinds of terrifying questions about family dinners and what's really cooking in the kitchen. Let's leave the human recipes out of it, shall we? The narrator experiences the ultimate shocker. They unknowingly consumed human flesh. Cue the horror music. Talk about a diet disaster. Their lifestyle changes to vegetarianism faster than you can say no more mystery pastries. And what's babysitting without a sprinkle of chaos? The narrator recalls being tied up by mischievous kids, setting the stage for unpredictable sibling dynamics. It's the kind of wild ride reminiscent of a cartoon episode gone off the rails. Life-threatening situations leave psychological scars, and our narrator decides that avoiding children is the best course of action.
Who can blame them?
After witnessing the chaos and unpredictability, it's like saying thanks, but no thanks, to parenthood. A chilling note reading revenge pops up like a disheveled guest at a party, raising serious questions about safety and trust. It's proof that even the most familiar settings can hide the spookiest of surprises. Our babysitter is cautious by nature, and let me tell you, that personality trait ramps up her anxiety levels. A little too much look over your shoulder isn't just for horror movies, it's a way of life. After a week of on-edge feelings, she encounters the same suspicious man again.
Talk about déjà vu.
With a growing sense of danger, her decision to carry a knife is both practical and a little bit like something out of a thriller film. An unsettling shopping experience leaves her feeling stalked as a man follows her, speaking inappropriately. The escalating tension feels like a scene straight out of an intense drama, and she's not the lead actress she signed up to be. The theories surrounding Dennis's disappearance run wild, from hide-and-seek gone wrong to encounters with wildlife. The community is buzzing with speculation, proving that true crime is more popular than a cat video on the internet. Eyewitnesses report a suspicious man lurking in the area, and suddenly, everyone's an amateur detective. The search for the truth can feel like a public debate, generating even more speculation. It's the ultimate whodunit sensation. Despite extensive searches and investigations, the mystery remains unsolved, causing ongoing distress for Dennis's family. They're like a live-action "please help us find our friend" episode, except it's all too real, and the haunting questions linger like an uninvited guest. Panic kicks in among friends when they realize danger is creeping closer. It's like being in a real-life action flick, contemplating their escape options like the experts in an escape room. Will they make it out alive? After a chaotic chase, one friend finds refuge in the nearest house. Phew. This moment highlights the value of community support during emergencies. It's like the neighborhood came to the rescue with a "come on in, we got your back" vibe. Nearby residents and the police rally together, showcasing community support, but the lingering threat of the attackers remains. It's a classic mix of good vibes and eerie tensions. Welcome to the neighborhood. The friends initially shrug off the creepy vibes until they realize they're in a real-life thriller. The tension ratchets up as they feel increasingly threatened. Can someone grab the popcorn? This is a plot twist waiting to unfold. Things escalate fast when one friend throws a rock at the man, provoking an unexpectedly bizarre reaction. It's like poking a bear, only now the bear is angry, and the plot thickens for our brave adventurers. After their escape, the friends are left in disbelief, questioning if the encounter was just a prank or a serious threat. They decide to convince themselves it was just a creepier than usual Halloween incident, like a candy corn mishap gone wrong. Our narrator initially feels a tinge of paranoia, sensing someone watching him. But he brushes it off as just being sick and tired. Little does he know that a spooky surprise is lurking just around the corner. When trick-or-treaters ring his doorbell, our narrator is met with a mask-wearing figure that could make anyone's skin crawl. The tension thickens, setting the stage for a Halloween night that is about to take a dark turn. The home invasion escalates faster than you can say boo, as multiple masked individuals storm in armed with a plan for chaos. It's not just a Halloween scare, it's an unexpected nightmare that reminds us just how unpredictable Halloween can be.